Collective. Welcome, welcome. I'm Nikki, your local vegan tarotist, and we're going to do a collective love reading for the twin flames. Divine feminine, divine masculine. I should have cleaned this up before, but I didn't. So, maybe that is some sort of confirmation. Maybe you're going to be going to this person's house, or meeting up, or they're going to be picking you up and they're looking at their vehicle. They're like, oh, I didn't. So it could be some sort of spontaneous get together or like last minute plans. All right. So we're going to read for the masculine. We're going to read for the feminine. I'm on the road again. On the road again. Maybe you are traveling, or you're planning a travel, or you're on the fence about it, and that could be confirmation for you to just do it. Should I stay or should I go? If that is your question about another connection, of course I'm going to say go. If you are looking to tarot for to tell you how you feel about something, it's not the tool to tell you how you feel about something. It is a tool to confirm what you already know and what you know within. My throat chakra is a little bit funkied right now. So I am going to be doing, I'm going to be uploading some shorts on here on YouTube and on my Instagram. So, and I think I'm going to probably just put them over there, but we'll see. I'll upload them to both platforms initially and see. So I'll just be doing the individual zodiac readings, pulling a card for a divine feminine, divine masculine, and then one for the divine creation, right? So it's going to be a Holy Trinity reading. They'll be very quick. You know my, if you've been following me for a while, you know my concept of quick is a little bit slow. So this could be a very tantric connection. I mean, twin flame connections typically are. Divine connections are, because tantric is, it's about the weave of the divine masculine, divine feminine. So it's like making a perfect basket. Maybe baskets are assigned to you. You could feel like a basket case as the Five of Cups, or I'm sorry, the Five of Pentacles just came out. But we have the Six of Pentacles. So if you've been feeling sort of out of sorts, and you could be someone who's a little bit modest about that, right? Somebody on the masculine side, because we have the Page of Swords at the center here. So I feel like the masculine could be watching the feminine, and you probably relate to each other very, very closely in this aspect, that you are not someone to share all of your troubles. You're very maybe guarded, quiet about any kind of emotional distress that you're going in. Your finances could be mirroring your emotional, which they will. That's usually how it is. It usually hits in every area of your life when you feel this kind of deprivation or not feeling, hey, leave it. Thank you, love. Thank you. I swear, you think I just like gave them a jar of peanut butter or something, the way that there's nothing going on back there. They got nothing, but they got a smack, and that just drives me crazy. And I'm sure I do plenty of things that drive them crazy. So, and that could also be sort of a thing. You may know that you're kind of a tough case. You know, you're a hard person maybe to get along with. Other people may have considered you a tough read, or been like, you're not very open, or you're so guarded or something. This Page of Swords is someone who's very observant, right? This is the masculine energy of somebody who is maybe watching their feminine, and they're making all these observations about their feminine. But they see them. They read you just fine. They see you. Because they are looking, it's like they put the sword over here to the 5 of Pentacles, and they're looking at the 6 of Pentacles. They're looking forward to the abundance. They're like, this feels like a rescue. It's like 6 of Swords, like they're coming in with communication about, I don't want to say that they know you better than you know yourself, but they might have that kind of sense, like, I know what's good for you. I know that I'm healthy for you. The feminine here could be someone who has been put out in the cold by a lot of individuals around them. Could be lovers, could be family, friends, work. They could have just lost a job, or they could just be in a place where it's, this masculine, I feel, is tired of seeing this feminine in this deprivation, because they see that this feminine has so much to give with the 6 of Pentacles, and they want to be a part of that. They want to collaborate and come together. It could be a friend, Hierophant. You could be dealing with a Taurus. You or your person could have strong Taurus placements, but that's traditional marriage. This is somebody who wants like a monogamous union. That is the only type of divine union. If you disagree with that, there are plenty of other channels you can look at. Because it is devout, it is devotion, it is choosing, right? Making the choice, dedicating, and I can't think of her name, but there is like a relationship expert, whatever that means, and she talks about how, like, arranged marriages, the success rate and all of that, how they are, she kind of understands and advocates for them. And I understand, I'm not necessarily advocating for them, because I don't think that anybody should be told who they're going to give their time, energy, love to. But there's something with Pentacles here. Pentacles are about commitment. They're about longevity, investment. You understand that this isn't going to be, just wee-hee the whole time, right? You want to ride the roller coaster, well, you have to, there are safety precautions. There are things that you have to do. It's going to be scary at times. Oh my gosh, there's a hummingbird right out here. It's so fucking cool. Maybe hummingbirds are a sign for you. We have the King of Cups. You could be dealing with a water sign. But it's like, this is someone who's looking at things logistically. They're realistic about it. They're not, I don't feel like this masculine's very, they're holding a sword here. There could be an age difference. The masculine could be younger than the feminine. But I feel like they look at things and they're like, this just makes sense. And I'm willing to work for this. Where I think a lot of people get scared about the work. They get out of the honeymoon phase, which is an illusion anyway. That's all the lust and the infatuation. And then this is somebody who's willing to invest. They know enough about you that they are willing to commit to you and learn what else they need to learn. And we as individuals are always hopefully learning more about ourselves. So it's like they're willing to take on the risks of, there's that climb and then you got to get out, and it's, because roller coasters are very quick. This is not a roller coaster. This isn't like a thrill ride. This is more like a train ride to a faraway destination. I'm getting the Polar Express. Also, when I was leaving, I was contemplating whether or not I was going to stay where I was or get back in the van. I mean, not get back in the van and hit the road again. And I was at the park walking the dogs, and I saw this little rolled up golden thing, and I opened it, and it's the Polar Express. And then I was literally, am I going to go east, west? Am I going to go back to where I was staying, or am I going to go forward to who knows where? You know, it's like the future is unpredictable. But if you know yourself, then you know how you're going to react to certain things. You know that you're always going to be true to yourself. So I feel like there's a lot of honor with this masculine. They know themselves. They know that they're not someone who's going to be tempted. They know that they're someone who they can commit. This is someone who's in for the long haul. They're willing to go the distance. Knight of Cups could be a younger water sign, younger air sign, but they are coming in with communication about emotion. So yeah, Page of Cups again, and there's that Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles becomes a Six of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles. This masculine wants to bring balance in for this feminine, and it's like they've been seeing this feminine juggle everything, multitask, take on the weight of the world by themselves. They've also been juggling the masculine and the feminine energy, because when we are as individuals, we do that. We all have masculine and feminine within us, same ingredients, different recipes. So it's like they've noticed that this feminine is more. This gives me Esmeralda. So this masculine could be someone in the military, police, right? Someone who's like a warrior. So that's someone who's willing to fight for. And Esmeralda was a bad bitch. You know, she was very fiery, and she pushed the status quo, and she was somebody who kind of was like a little bit of an anarchist, you know? So it's, and also that gives me more of the traveling aspect with the gypsy, just being someone who's maybe a little bit more free-spirited, fiery, could be a feminine with strong fire placements. But this masculine's been watching them, and they're just mesmerized, right? Esmeralda, she's mesmerizing. I remember I had a t-shirt with Esmeralda on it, like an orange t-shirt, so maybe the color orange. That is also the sacral chakra, right, which is Scorpio. So you could have strong scorpionic placements, but there's a lot of passion here. So I think the reason that's coming through is because with all of the commitment and doing work on the relationship, it's like a lot of people get deterred by that, and they're off put by that because they're thinking, oh, I just want passion and fire and water and excitement and all of this, like, crashing waves and all of that. Like, this person's gonna be very steady, but their waters run deep. Your person, their waters run deep. And, at the bottom, there are little, not geysers, but like underwater vents. So I'm getting like volcanic, something about like the divide. You could live on different continents, or you could live in different places, different states. There could be some sort of like proverbial line or imaginary line between you two. So there could be some cultural differences or things like that, but I think that you're going to blend together very well, because you're swimming in the same ocean. There's something about you're swimming in the same waters, and you're both willing to dive deep. And if you're willing to dive deep into that, there's a lot of passion, a lot of heat, and there's a lot of treachery in the sea. So it's superficially, you might see other couples, or you may have been in other connections where it was a lot of waves and whitecaps and very tumultuous seas and skies and everything, where you can see it here. But once you go deeper, there is like a sort of calm to it. There's a security to that, where it's like you can kind of let your wild side out, right? So a lot of fixed energy with the pentacles here, a lot of fixed energy. And then we have the head and the heart. It's like you're going to be the head and the heart, and that's also a band, the head and the heart, only for you. And I can't think of any of the lyrics now other than only for you. But once the song comes on, of course, I know all the lyrics perfectly. But yeah, the head and the heart. And that one is, I think that's Heartless Bastards. But there is a band, the head and the heart. What do they sing? Heartless Bastards, I think, sings Only for You. Anyway, so maybe check those out. There could be something in there for you. I'm going to go away from that. C and S. So there's something, maybe you have similar sounds in your name. I'm not reading for those, I'm not pulling for those yet, but I have some Scrabble cards for letters. Yeah, this person wants to work with you. I think that feminines you've dealt with and masculines you've probably dealt with this as well, because there's a lot of mirrored energy here. You want the same things. You're very compatible. That's what earth energy is. With the C's also, I talk about this a lot, but the 4 elements of the divine union are, okay, chemistry for fire. Then it's connection is water. And then we have compatibility, which is earth, and communication for swords. And that makes the divine union. So it's like you match up on all accounts. Something with your account, you could have had your account drained, or like some sort of shadow energy was messing with your money, I think. And I think it was messing with your health, your inner wealth, and possibly your financial wealth. We have the Emperor here though, so the masculine wants to offer this cup of love. 10 of Wands, yeah, they're here to bring an end to, this is the be all end all. This is the person who puts an end. So if you're wondering if you could be dreaming about past lovers, past connections, exes, whatever. You could be tempted by karmic cycles, however those represent themselves to you. That could be behaviors, substances, people, thought patterns. This person is going to come in, and I don't think you're going to need any closure with anything else. It's like, oh, okay, that's why all of that happened. That's why I was in this 5 of Pentacles. And maybe you were traveling, or you were wanting to move, but you kind of got stuck. You didn't have the funds, you didn't have the means, the resources to move forward. And so maybe the name Ray, that also is Sagittarius energy. That could be the sun, Leo energy. It is fire energy, ray of sunshine. But I get in an interview with Graham Norton that, and I just had a dream with Danny DeVito, and which I don't know his sign, and Ewan McGregor, which they were together, and I kind of like fangirled because my favorite movie is Big Fish, and they are both in that together. But Ewan McGregor is a Sagittarius, so maybe something with Sagittarius energy. But he's talking about how he, like, in the Star Wars prequels or whatever, I don't know, I didn't watch past Jar Jar because I couldn't. I'm just loyal to the actual OG Star Wars. Even though I love Natalie Portman and she's in those. But I guess his like only contribution was he had to say a line or something, but they used oh gosh, now his name's evading me. The original Obi, the OG Obi, where he goes Ray, and they like use his thing, but the way he says it, it's just, I just keep hearing it, Ray. I don't know, so maybe there's something about that, and he's Scottish, so yeah, there could be some sort of one of you could have like an accent. There could be that difference in culture, because the 10 of Wands also, you know, it looks like this long journey with all these like mileposts, and these calls also kind of resemble the power lines or the street lights. Sound of silence. Yeah, and see, and these wands are kind of peeking up out of a very tumultuous looking sea, but it's like there's so much passion underneath the surface. I feel like you wouldn't expect that this person is so passionate or so sacrally driven and creative. This could also be someone who maybe looks like a square on the outside. Taurus and Aquarius energy there with Pulp Fiction. Quentin Tarantino's an Aries. So Aries, Taurus. Uma is a Taurus. She's an April Taurus. Drip, drip, drop, little April showers, which is from Bambi, but that also is like Twitter-pated. Something about like Twitter-pated. This person feels very stoic. They feel like a tough read, and maybe that's why they know how to read you, because you're very similar. You're both kind of stoic, or maybe just you seem all together. You seem like you have it all together, because this is someone who's juggling, and they look like they're doing wonderfully. They're balancing everything together, but then they have the Five of Pentacles here. So it's like they're masking this kind of lack that they have, or this deprivation. With that sacral energy too, could be a long time celibacy with the Ten of Wands. Could have been some sort of sexual addiction that was laid to rest. Because that was all superficial. It was all, see, all those wands they represent phallic imagery, which is on top of the water. That's just like, nobody was willing to go deep enough. Also, DVSN, so something about division. There is something about a divide, a great divide. So that could be like a valley. That could be, what is the Grand Canyon? Something about a canyon. Which was made by water. Like, water is so powerful. So there's a lot of water here that is like floodgates ready to open. This could be quite an emotional connection. You know, like if you had to hold it together for so long. A post I did a long time ago was that children of chaos don't need somebody to help them hold it together. They need someone to help them fall apart, right? Like, you've never been able to, I think people have just always looked on the outside. And in the Hunchback of Notre Dame, she's, you know, where she's in something with the church. I'm getting where she's walking through and she's, God bless the ones who, she's like praying for others, like the weight of the world is on her, Esmeralda, but she looks like she's just sassy and fiery, and no one would really suspect that she has this depth to her, because she's just like a dance monkey dance, you know. She's just physically very, very beautiful, and she has a lot of sexuality, and that is scorpionic energy, you know. There's a like illustrious type thing about her appearance, possibly, that people have just kind of looked past that. And something with Pam, I don't know what Pamela Anderson's sign is. If you know any of these, let me know. Let us all know. There might be a synchronicity there, but you know, she's since not wearing the makeup or whatever. I was watching her in an interview where she was like, you know, she seems to be more free without all of the burdens of the superficial. But a lot of men were probably very intimidated by her because her beauty was so striking when she had all the makeup on, and she was, you know, she had the breasts and the body and the hair and the thing, and people just wrote her off as being just like, oh, she's just a dumb blonde, she's just a hot blonde, let's just put her over there, you know. That's her box. And now there's such a like wholesome beauty to her. So there's something very natural and beautiful about this feminine when their guards are down, that the masculine recognizes and wants in on that. This masculine wants in on that. Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, this is part of your divine path to come into conjunction, to come into union with this person, because you're going to collaborate and co-create, and it's going to be very financially abundant. It's going to be it's going to put your physical health at ease, your mental health at ease. So any other time, my left eye is twitching here, so that really hit for somebody, because I think that you've become just sort of like a shell of a person with so many other people, and it's like an egg when you look at the light. What's that movie? Fracture. Anthony Hopkins and Ryan Gosling. So maybe the names Anthony, Ryan, maybe there are signs. I can't remember what. I want to say Ryan Gosling is a Scorpio. I don't remember what Anthony Hopkins is. But anyway, he's talking about how he could find the fractures in every egg. He could find the fractures in all of them. And so I'm just getting that imagery of like looking through there and seeing all the fractures, but it's like, kintsugi. The fractures make it beautiful. The flaws are the best part. Okay, time in reverse, 3 seeds. Crop, this had to grow. So this could crop swap. Yeah, it had to grow. So maybe this masculine, because masculine energy pursues, right? So this masculine had to, they wanted to make sure that they had enough to give. And that could be because of an age difference. That could be because they were not as experienced. Maybe the feminine had more life experience due to age or just due to circumstances. This could have been a quite sheltered masculine, or dare I say, maybe this masculine was just loved unconditionally growing up. And you can flip this if you resonate with either side, right? Because you're mirroring each other. So a lot of the messages could be blended or swapped. But swapped. We have the crop swap. Swap your incomplete crop for another player's incomplete crop. So it's like maybe they were financially well off. One of you was financially well off growing up. You didn't really want for anything as far as resources go, tangible resources of the 3D, but maybe you didn't really have, you could have been raised by very analytical, stoic parents who didn't really nurture or help you as a child dive into those deep parts of you, which is, it's often the case with water sign masculines, because there is such a depth to them, and because this world doesn't like that, especially in young boys. You gotta be tough, boys don't cry, and all that stuff. It's like, so that could have been something that really molded this masculine into having that shell. But the shell there's like fractures all around the shell. Like the mask is breaking. It's it's like a porcelain mask. It's such a fragile mask because there's actually so much sensitivity here that was just never nurtured. But maybe they were 3D wise, they were secure. They had all the securities of the world. So it's not that their parents were bad. It's just maybe their parents didn't know how to deal with that. They could have been 2 air sign parents or something who were all head, and they're raising a heart, so it could have been something like that. And then the feminine, maybe, or the opposite one of you, but I am getting it as the feminine possibly grew up without maybe the financial substance, but they maybe grew up in a very like emotionally nurturing family or something. So it's like, wherever your fractures are, wherever whatever you consider your lack, your depletion, the gaps, there's like a canyon, and you could have been raised by very decent parents, or you could have been raised by very indecent parents, right? That there's no need and there's no growth when you're placing blame. That doesn't do any good, right? So I think that both of you have quite an intellectual understanding of your shadow work and the work that you had to do. And it's like you understand that you have this emotional wealth to share with somebody. I think that was a falcon. A falcon was in front of my van yesterday and then flew up on the fence, which is Aries energy. It's a Native American zodiac for Aries. But birds could just be, you know, with the hummingbird, with the falcon, you know, birds are really beautiful communicators and partners, and they typically, most species, mate for life. So this is something, like, this is going to stand the test of time. You understand it very well. But the time in reverse, I want to clarify because I'm not sure why that's here. But wherever your divides are, it's like you're going to fill up this person's canyon. Calm down, sacral energy. Oh, there's going to be a lot of passion here. We don't need to talk about it. And I feel like that is kind of how your relationship is and is going to be, is that you guys have a lot going on underneath the surface that only you two know about. And it's not toxic. It's just the depth and the weight of the world that no one else around you really understands or is willing to dive into those types of conversations and exchanges. And I think a lot of that with the tantric indication at the beginning, I think a lot of that communication is going to be done sacrally. It's going to be done while you are physically intimate with each other. A sexy time. The Trapper. Possibly wordplay as well. Could be very punny. Someone could be a dad here, or just like dad humor. Indolence, 8. It's the 8 of Cups. The 8 of Cups is somebody who, is exhausted by love, and they've had to choose themselves over and over. I also see a bull kind of trapped in this box here, and see they're pouring out. This could also be loss. I am getting death here, more scorpionic energy, but it's, see how they're pouring out their bottle. Now they could just be passed out and it's spilling over, but it feels like a drop for the homies, like some sort of somebody could have passed that really influenced your isolation, like maybe the only person in the world who really gets you or got you growing up. Maybe you've just always felt alone. You've always felt like this kind of sorrow, this heavy, heavy horse thief. Things were taken from you. Like parts of you that you never thought you were going to get back. The Maiden of Shields is the Queen of Pentacles. And with that deer there, the deer is the Native American zodiac for Gemini. So this is like a nod to the lover here. And then the Queen of Pentacles. This could be fixed signs, earth signs, but this is someone who's very grounded, very nurturing, has a lot of love to give. But a Maiden of Shields, it's ironic because it's a shield. It's like there is this barrier. There's this sort of guarded nature. Just a second. Nobody needs to be that close to your vehicle. Come on. Yeah, they've got the time here. It's like this masculine's been waiting their entire life. And with that Maiden of Shields and the bull over here, I feel like there's a breakthrough. Somebody's breaking through the divide, this fence. Someone's breaking barriers. Resting bitch face, and then Maiden of Blades. Yeah, that's the Queen of Swords. There is something kind of formidable about this feminine to everybody but this masculine. This masculine is the breakthrough for this feminine to be the fullest expression of their femininity. They get to see the soft, gooey parts that no one else gets to see. H and T. N and H. So H, double H, double goo. What is that? Double gur. Also Absalom, and we have A here. It's funny, we have A and then A with T. So A-L, A-T-O. So yeah, you could have similar sounds in your name, similar letters, or like alliterations, or repetition of numbers. Numbers. I don't know why I said numbers. Letters. That's also, you could have like a silent one, you know, like, oh, the, oh gosh, I can't think of this movie. If you know what this is, let me know, because it will drive me crazy. But there's, somebody says their name. Oh, it's in Couples Retreat, and he says Stanley. The C is silent, and C was falling out. So there could be something about like a silent letter or something, like somebody could mispronounce your name all the time. And then, and what is that? Twilight. It's another movie, but where Edward calls, like, everyone's like, Isabella, and she's like, just Bella. So somebody could have like a nickname or a shortened version of their name, or they could go by a middle name or something like that. But it's like, everyone's like always so like formal, Isabella, and he calls her Bella, and she's kind of like, yeah, like you get so used to correcting people. I feel like this person's going to say the right thing. They could pronounce your name correctly, or they could be like, they just maybe like finish your sentences, and you're like, oh, I don't have to correct them. I don't have to, like, they get me. So that could just be the name, something like that. That could be an indicator for some of you that when you meet this person, they're going to get your name right, where everyone else has been like, really butchered it. But yeah, so we have, 2 A's, 2 T's, Absalom. A-E-I-O-U. U-E-I-O-A. Something with the crocodile. Riddles. The Riddler. I was going to say Gemini energy because his name's Jim Carrey, but he's a Capricorn. January 17th. 3747. We're going to pull from the animal tracks. That's a lot, but, okay, so 3 of Wands, harvest mice. So yeah, this is a time for this. I think maybe you met before and it wasn't the right time. Maybe when you first meet, it isn't the right time. That is very twin flame. It's not the right time. You have to go your separate ways. But I don't think there was any sort of, obvious treachery or anything. There wasn't a problem necessarily. It was just not the right time. Because, and I feel like you both knew it with the purple here, like you both saw it. You could have Pisces placements, but it's like you both come from the same kingdom. You could both be fixed signs, earth signs, water sign, you know, like there's some very synchronistic things about your name, your zodiac sign, the place where you come from. Possibly you could come from the same place. It's like there's a lot of synchronicities there, and maybe you don't know them right away, but the more that they come out, it's gonna again, it's not gonna be like, oh, now I can love this person because we're from the same place, or we both have 2 A's in our name, or whatever. You know, it's like I said in the beginning, it's, you know, tarot it just reminds you of what you already know. So you already know these things, and I think it's just going to be like, oh, that too, oh, that too, oh, of course we are from the same place. We're freaking twin flames, duh, you know. So there's going to be things like that where I think you both just kind of, you just think they're cool little nods from the universe to like remind you. And maybe it's going to come in those moments where it's not so fun, or where there are big challenges. That could be down the road, right? Because you think you're getting on a train to nowhere, but the Polar Express, it like kind of like floats around, doesn't it? Like, it goes through a lot of arduous journey in. I mean, the point of the Polar Express is there's a child who doesn't know if they believe, and that's the sense that I get here with this indolence. Like this masculine could have been doubting whether or not they even believed in this kind of love, this grand love. But then this feminine comes in and reminds them that it's there. And not just there, like it's here. And that's also a sign, it's here. Poltergeist, they're here. So this person could show up, something about the TV or maybe on your screen, maybe you guys meet online or digitally. That's also mercurial energy, right? So that's Gemini, Virgo, and Taurus. It's the throat chakra. So there's a lot of communication here. And I think that's just going to allow you to be your wildest, freest version. It's going to allow like every placement in your chart to be at its fullest expression. And I think you're going to be like on fire. We have multiple aces here. So this is something new. Now that could be, doesn't mean you don't know this person. We have the feral horse and the white-tailed jackrabbit. So horses, the rabbit, could be the 2026 that you come back together. So it's new. This is, I don't think this is anybody that you've ever dealt with. Again, it could be a friend, but I don't think this is anybody that you've dealt with romantically. Because when compatibility is at the core, as a fixed earth sign, I'll tell you, when compatibility is at the core, that is what the core is. That's how you know you're compatible. You want the same things. You are the same. If you've ever dealt with people at any point in your life where you weren't compatible, you're not going to be compatible later necessarily, right? Some people want different things, but like at your core, you either match or you don't match. And that's also water energy with the connection, because the connection is that intangible thing. Compatibility is the stuff that you can talk about, you can see, there are names for it. Connection is like that thing you can't really say what it is, and you just love because you love. So yeah, earth and water are really strong here. We have the Seven of Cups, cougar. So again, maybe the feminine is older than the masculine. Hind and front. This could be someone who's quite voluptuous. Yeah, I think this feminine could, at least the masculine maybe thinks, oh, this feminine could get anybody they want, because there's the physical attractiveness, but the beauty that they are interested in is much deeper than that. And maybe they didn't recognize that initially because the physical beauty was so striking. So this Page of Swords is where they really have observed, like, oh, it's my person. And maybe those synchronicities and those little nods from the universe were what the masculine needed to confirm. So it wasn't telling them how they felt. They knew how they felt, but they felt like maybe they just misinterpreted the feeling as being sacral or superficial. So they questioned it, because what they actually want is deeper than that. But we're all human, and so it's like sometimes you see something that brings out your human side. Your terrestrial being, that's that balance. That Two of Pentacles, Capricorn energy is dealing with the devil. The devil is the ruler of the ego, the ruler of the physical world, right? And so it's all the hedonistic things. More Taurus energy, and Pisces as well, I'm getting. So that is High Priest and High Priestess. So yes, something where there's something where you are maybe teachers, guides, leaders in whatever field you're in, and you could know that or not. You might not be aware of that. Maybe it doesn't come to its full fruition until you both are in union. All right, he's gone. act like I own the place. I own every place I park. I don't know. It's just like, there's a whole space here. You know, you gotta like walk right next to, I don't know. Some people are just, I feel, inconsiderate, but most people are just not paying attention, which is also a form of inconsideration. Because situational awareness, you know, if you give a shit, then you pay attention. Anyway, sorry about that. But maybe you relate to that. I think there's kind of like a hopelessness, a little bit of doubt for humanity, a little bit of challenge with humanity, possibly the good in people. You know, the bad is it's easier to remember. It stands out. It's easy energy, negative energy. It's easier. So it's like it moves. It's like a virus. Like you can catch it a lot easier. Communicable. It's like weaves its way in. I think that gummy just kicked in. Because I just went, I don't know where I went there. A little bit maybe spacey. And maybe that's kind of that hedonistic. You try to numb it. You try to escape from it. You try to dull the like everlasting ache. I'm just going to go there. You guys are going with me, right? You with me? You're trying to dull the everlasting ache of the weight of the world. There's a quail. Like, these are just the strangest birds. And there was this bright green little, like, parakeet. I don't know if it was a pet that somebody released, but I saw it yesterday. It's like the strangest combination of birds in this space here. But anyway, so I think birds are very important. But we have the harvest mice with that 3 of Wands. So that is that move. That is planning a travel, planning a trip. That is a direction. Somebody has a direction, and it's to you, baby. American pica. Pica is like that. This might be a pica. I think it's, I don't know if it's pronounced pica or pica. P-I-K-A. Maybe something with the letter K, because it's like, but that also is like the, people mispronouncing your name. I mispronounce it. I must not be the one for you. I'm sorry. Voles and Lemmings, 6 of Wands. So that is self-recognition. It's Leo energy. It is validation, vindication. It is, something with the throat. So someone's tried to block your truth. Someone's been trying to block, maybe this communication. There could be a karmic interference that's trying to, maybe pass around some gossip or some nonsense like that. I'm not going to give too much energy to that, because those people, that energy, that's that negative energy. There's a lot of negative energy around both of you, that I think is maybe challenging you. So you could be in a very kind of dire place emotionally when you meet this person. And maybe that's why you go your separate way for a while, or you just agree to not move it in anything romantic, because you know you're just not in the place to give to what this connection needs. Because you understand, you really understand and understand when you meet this person, like, this is a big love and I want it, but I want to make sure that I'm worthy of it. I want to make sure that I have the stuff. I want to make sure I'm up to snuff. So maybe somebody had to do quite a bit of healing and learn to, you know, 6 of Wands is like self-love and self-recognition, understanding, and not just understanding, but expressing your self-value, saying I'm fucking valuable. Voles and Lemmings. And that's like, never been kissed. Ooh, the kiss between you two is going to be really passionate. The kiss is, because you're not just going to have one. But where she's you know, she's struggling with trying to be the cool kid and get the story that she needs, because she's also like doing work. So you might meet this person in work. But she, you know, when they're on the elevators passing, oh, like, oh my God, there goes another lemming. So maybe when you met each other, there was something superficial about the way that you were behaving or expressing yourself. But I think that being confronted by it, by coming into connection with meeting your mirror, is what it feels like when you meet them. It's quite triggering, because you're like, oh, I want depth, but I'm behaving superficially. I want to feel things deeply, but I'm numbing myself. You know, it's this kind of conundrum of what you truly want and who you truly are, and this porcelain mask that's all crackled. And this person, it's like when you hit each other, it's like both of your masks kind of shatter, and you're like, oh God, they saw me, and you kind of have to maybe go the other way. So it might be quite an intense first meeting, and it might bring quite a bit of sorrow and sadness. There might actually be tears after you come into connection with this person, because there's maybe doubt that you don't have what to offer, or you know the work that needs to go into it. And again, as much as you want to put that work into it, you might just be kind of like in a struggling place. You might be in this Five of Pentacles. So it's like coming out of the Five of Pentacles into this Six of Wands, doing that self-love, self-work, you know, putting the same amount of work. If you want to love that you have to work for, you always have to work for love, right? And that's okay. It's a labor of love, right? If you really want that, then you have to put it into yourself first. And this person, both of you know that. And I'm saying this person because I feel like maybe one of you is going like, oh, they didn't want me. Maybe you felt rejected by this, or maybe they're doubting their self-worth and their need to expand and really do the final cuttings that they needed to do, and releasing, healing and alignments that they had to do for their personal path. I think that made you doubt your path. It made you doubt whether or not you were reading the signs right, because the intensity of the first meeting. If they did not reciprocate that, or if they withdrew, took a pause to do this work, but they maybe didn't explain that to you. Maybe they didn't say, hey, I have to go do some more shadow work. They were just like, I'm not in a place for this. And you were like, oh, it must be me. So it could have made you doubt your self-worth. So it's like this little seesaw, teeter-totter thing, this balancing act with that Two of Pentacles wherever she went. Well, maybe I can't find her because that's not the issue anymore. You guys have figured it out. You know how to balance it. I am going to get a color, and I'm going to roll the die here. 5. Yeah, so 5s are the number of change. It's the feeling of lack. It's perceived lack, because you have everything that you need. It's that pause. It's the bend before the break. Maybe 3. But it is the thing that leads you to. So this lack that you were in. Again, maybe you felt, you know, it was like that. When she asked for sanctuary, you know, it's like, this person's your sanctuary. The song is by Joji. Again, mispronouncing names. Sanctuary. Go ahead and park after dark, falling star, I'm your one call away. So that tells me that's like Aquarius energy. I don't know what his sign is, but maybe look it up. And go ahead and park after dark. Wow, that really applies to my life right now. So maybe, I don't know, maybe you guys are that traveling again. But it feels like that sanctuary. It's like, this is the person you're going to come home to. You're safe. And they're one call away. So I feel like the masculine is going to be calling the feminine. They're heeding the call. The feminine's been calling. So the feminine could really be in that Five of Pentacles energy really struggling, and they're doubting their self-worth, they're doubting their process in the masculine. It's like, oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Energetically, I feel like you're exchanging this. You're having this exchange where it's like, I didn't mean to do that. I did not mean to make you doubt yourself. That was all me. That was all on me. I'm getting the name Cookie. I don't know why Cookie. That's from Sex and the City. So there could be an age difference. You know, I was getting that the feminine could be older, but in that it's an older man who's like, I could help you work through those daddy issues, those father issues or whatever. So this is going to be very healing for your, any sort of kind of ancestral karma or any sort of issues that you have with your concepts of love based on your parental guidance or whoever your guardians were, whatever first examples you had for love. Green, that's the heart chakra. This is gonna be a very healing connection for the heart chakra, which is gonna just free all the other ones, but I feel the blockage is in the heart chakra, and that's gonna really open it up. Which is the sun, the moon, so that's Leo, Cancer energy, but that is essentially, that's how we connect to other humans, is through the heart chakra, and that is the divine masculine, divine feminine, celestial bodies, the sun and the moon. So that, the heart chakra is, it's the love. It's the love, the divine love, the agape love. All right. I think that's it. I want to keep like, just grabbing. All right, I think I'm gonna leave it there though. See if anything else comes in. No, nothing's coming in right now because the gummy has kicked in. So thank you for stopping by. I appreciate your energy and your time, and I really hope that there was something in here for you, because this is a beautiful love that everybody wants. We didn't get, it was like all the 10 of Pentacles and 10 of Cups energy, 4 of Wands, all of that felt like that, but it's those were not coming out. Why were those not coming out? 8 of Cups. Somebody had to choose this. So, oh, it's because that Wheel of Fortune, because it wasn't the right time. Okay. Yeah, somebody had to leave something. Could have left a connection. Somebody could have been in a connection, and maybe that's why this person's not, fortunately, this person's not a dirtbag, and they're not going to be a cheater, even though they're emotionally dissatisfied wherever they are. They know they have to get out of that and do the healing and do this shadow work from all of those external antagonists and internal antagonists that were coming around them. Also, like, I'm seeing celibacy, a period of abstinence. Yeah, we have the King of Cups, Virgo energy, and so water energy, 4 of Swords, which is Virgo energy, and the 6 of Cups, soulmate. Yeah, I have to come back to you, but I have to come back to you properly. I have to come back to you aligned. I can't come to you like this. Like, I didn't clean up. I have to clean up first. I have to, like, arrange things. I should have done this before, right? So many people on the twin flame journey, all divine unions are twin flames, but not all twin flames come into divine union because of timing, because people don't trust that Wheel of Fortune, which is the 1111. That's the 4 of Wands. They don't trust that. And they're like, this feels so good, but I'm not really right. But I'm going to do it anyway because it feels so good. And you try to push it together, and you know it's there, but you're still like wearing those masks, you know? And so it's like you can never quite see each other because your third eyes are blocked. Your chakras are not aligned. You haven't released certain things. You haven't done the work that you need to do to come into that. And a lot of people will do that. They'll just push it together, and then what happens is you always have that runner-chaser dynamic. So if you feel like you're in a runner-chaser dynamic, that is the need to release, the idea of control, and love up on the self. Love up on the self and trust in divine union. Trust in the divine timing. It's a frequency. It's not something that can be measured, something that can be clocked. Being clocked. I don't know. I'm getting more like Yeah, I can see a flag waving here. So I'm getting kind of like that militant thing. There's a warrior here. So a warrior is watching and they're clocking in on you now. Crosshairs. So you could see crosses. I am getting a lot of like religious imagery. And that's like deep rooted in culture. So there's something about like the X's or crosses that could be significant. All right, I am gonna leave it here now. Thank you everybody for your support. I appreciate it. Thank you for your patience. I know I've been bebopping around. I haven't uploaded anything in a while. But that's about to change. And until next time, I wish you well.